Alright guys, this is my 1997 Ford F-250, 351 5-speed. Alright guys, so a little story time. As most of y'all probably remember, I had a 1990 F-150 4-speed 302. I loved that truck and I really miss it, but it was a shade tree motor swap job. I don't know what kind of engine the previous owner had put in it. I know it was a high output, but I didn't know what year. It needed a power steering pump and the starter went out, so we got a new starter for it. The starter that we got for it kept hanging up, and we shimmed it out as far as we could and it still was hanging up. So what I was having to do was start it and then run around to the front, disconnect it from the solenoid to get it to retract. And there's just a lot going wrong with that truck, just loose wiring everywhere. If I had been a little more knowledgeable, I probably could have figured some of the stuff out, but I just decided to do away with it, and I wanted a heavier duty truck, so I sold it and I got a 7.3 IDI. It was a 1988 F-250 extended cab long bed. It was a pretty nice truck, at least cosmetically. It was a Centurion, so it had the wood grain interior. It was running really good till wintertime came around, and you know they're very prone to not starting in the wintertime. It wouldn't start at all, kept running batteries dead. I got a heavy duty starter for it, new batteries, and it still wouldn't start good. It probably needed glow plugs, but it also, just a water leak appeared, and it would only leak whenever it was really cold outside. If it was running, it wouldn't leak, but getting close to freezing temperatures, it would really just start pouring out. And I never actually located where the water leak was coming from, but I made it through the winter. Summertime rolls around and it still wouldn't start, so I figured the fuel lines. So I got billet aluminum fuel rails for it, and before I had them installed, I was just driving down the road and happened to look at my wheels, and they're just sitting there doing that. I had put brand new wheels and tires on it. The hubs was fine. So I don't know what was causing that, but I got digging around in the glove compartment. There's this big wad of like receipts and paperwork and, you know, owner's manual and just a big wad of stuff. And I was just bored, just sitting there looking through it, and I found a receipt, a mechanic's receipt from the early 2000s that said 330 something thousand miles, and that was in the early 2000s, so it probably had over 500,000 miles. And I just made the decision that I didn't want a diesel as much as I thought I did, and I had got lied to about the mileage, and I didn't want to put money. It was probably going to need a lot of work. It was leaking from every gasket, leaking oil, and I just figured that it wasn't worth putting the money into a truck with that many miles. So I got rid of it recently, and I just bought this current truck. It only has 137,000 miles on it, and I can actually see how many miles it has. It's in really good condition. Interior is really clean. It's really clean underneath. It's got very minimal body rust, like very, very minimal. Really no rust at all underneath. The only thing that was rusted out was the exhaust. The catalytic converter, its studs had rusted out, and it was just hanging, and I had to cut it off before I could drive it home. So it was really loud. I got a hillbilly rigged exhaust on it right now, just to quieten it down. I got it moved closer to the axle. But this is the lowest miles, just best condition truck I've ever had. I think I found a dime piece. It's got very minimal issues. The front sending units out. Just the other day, my odometer and speedometer went out, so I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. I've been watching videos on it, but I'm gonna have to see what the issue is there. But that's really the only issues that it has. It's in really good shape, and I'm really happy that I got it. All right, so as y'all can see, everything else is working as it should, but what's going on here? It just stays at 0 and the odometer is blank, so that ain't good. Show y'all this exhaust. So it was rusted off right there, and then it ran into a single, and then it ran back out to these duals on the back. So what I did is I cut the single off and I flipped it around where there's the junction for these duals, and I was going to try to just put it right up to these duals up here, but it didn't fit, so I had to get some flex pipe to get it to connect right there. And I just used that piece to get it to go further back. Got some pieces from AutoZone, and yeah, this is where we're at. It sounds pretty good, but we can't rock this forever. We're gonna need a more professional setup, and I got to get this inspected for 2 more years. So yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. That's gonna leave me with a failed inspection. Y'all can see it's really not any rust under here. It's pretty good condition for its age. There's a few little rust spots like this here. Got this little spot, but overall it's in pretty good shape. One of the cooler things about it, it's got this low range just like the 4-speed did, and you can kind of just let her go. She'll crawl right up a mountain doing this. My driveway is a pretty good example. It just crawls right along. I tried this in my diesel with the C6, and you had to give it throttle. It wouldn't crawl like this. It just kind of stopped. Self-driving mode. What though, it's pretty rough without AC. I might get it put in here, but I'm gonna spend such little time in this truck, I don't even know. I mean, right there, it works pretty decent. Sure is a whole lot cheaper than adding AC. The good old Ranger. I took that camper shell off. It was just getting in the way. I never got to the camping build, but yeah, if something slid to the back, I had to crawl in there and get it. It was just getting on my nerves. I'd rather just be able to sit stuff directly in there. I took the fender flares off. I just put color match push pins in there or Bondo over it. I'm not too sure, but I put new head and tail lights on here. Not the best looking light setup there is, but it was like $89, so. But we have a problem here. Yeah. All of the tires are dry rotted pretty bad, but that one is the worst. I put Linglong Crosswind MTs on my diesel, and I really liked them. They're a pretty cheap tire, and they held up good on there. So I went ahead and got the same tires ordered for this truck. It's got two 45, 75, 16 on it, and I got two 65s. I wanted to get two 85s, but it gets poor enough fuel economy already. I'd probably have front end issues, and I just figured 31s, roughly 31s, was a good middle ground. But I wanted to beef it up a little bit, you know. Those should be arriving tomorrow, so I'll have to do a video on that. Truck already has two 85s on there, and they're in pretty good shape. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna wear these out, and then I'll probably get crosswinds for this truck too. Guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I just want to do a little update on my vehicles. And yeah, I guess I'll title this why I bought a OBS Ford, because the brick nose Ford video, it did pretty good. It actually did better than any of my videos. So yeah, I'm gonna use the same title. And that is why I got an OBS truck. Tougher, older, more reliable, less power bullcrap. And I really fell in love with the look of a brick nose front end, but it was worth it to get one that I knew how many miles it had. So yeah, that's why I bought an OBS Ford. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the upgraded tires. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. See ya.